Are you looking to buy expired domain names? Do you understand what is involved, or do you want to understand what is involved? Now, if you can answer yes to any of these questions, then you are in the right place to get some answers, because today I'm going to explain to you what is involved in buying a domain name that has been forgotten about and why you might want to buy one. Be warned, this story has got two halves. Hi there, I'm Ed Anguish from Digital Wise Buys, and today's video is all about expired domain names. And before we get set into it, if this is your first time here on the Digital Wise Buys channel, then please press the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications when we release new videos. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is why you would want to buy a domain name that somebody else has had but is no longer using or willing to pay for. If a domain name registration isn't maintained and paid for, it goes into a giant pot where it can be bought by anyone who wants it. And there's millions of these expired names available, and they can be bought from as little as a few dollars to many thousands of dollars. And I mean many thousands, like 50,000 plus. So why would you want to buy a domain name in the first place? Well, I can see two reasons really. One is for the name itself, because it's a good name and fits your circumstances. And two, for the assets that are attached to that domain name. So the first is the name itself. The name could contain the name of your business or the name of your niche, or it could represent your business model in a good way, such as poshcars.com or ninasorientalmeals.com. Or you could have poshcars.com and you want to get poshcars.biz or .co.uk or TV to stop other people from using your name and causing confusion. You get a different extension, if you see what I mean. And the second one is for the assets that are attached to the domain name. Now, every expired website will have a footprint attached to it, and it will have links to outside pages. There will be links from other websites coming into it, and there may be videos attached to it as well, or blog posts. All of these things are classed as assets that can be of value to you. Now, you may want to buy a name because you just like the name and you think that you can tidy this name up and then sell it on to somebody else as a working website, somebody else whose business relates to that name. This is known as flipping, and you would spend some time tidying up the pages, bringing them up to date, changing the colours, changing the fonts, and updating the images to make it look more modern and attractive before you go out and contact people who may be interested in buying this domain from you. You're selling a working website in effect, and this way you are doing a website turnover, and then you would move on to the next one. For example, you may buy a site called poshcars.com. You tidy the site up and then you offer it to a local high-end taxi firm or chauffeur or wedding car services. This sort of businesses, do you understand? This is flipping. Now, success with this type of business, this business model, would depend upon your ability to redesign the website to make it attractive, and upon your skill in selling websites. You could also offer maintenance services with the sale to your buyers. Many businesses don't like managing their own websites, or they don't have time to manage it themselves, and they would welcome a ready-made website and pay for the maintenance of it. One downside that I can see to offering maintenance services, though, is that you may be selling to smaller businesses who don't have much of a budget to pay for your services. However, if you get the right website name, there is a big potential to sell it on to a bigger operation or an organization who will pay handsomely to capture the name, and that to avoid competition getting that name. But this would be an exception and not the rule. But it can happen. You can, of course, do the same thing for your own business. If you find a name that suits what you're doing, for example, flippingdomainnames.com, this could be a name that you can add into your business as a microsite or something. But quite often expired names are bought for the assets that they contain, and they can be either very lucrative or, on the opposite side, very costly. That's the two sides of the story that I mentioned earlier. There are quite a lot of software programs out there that will scour the internet for unused and unavailable websites that are no longer operative, they've just been let go, as well as new shiny objects that keep popping up on the platforms of like Moonshine. In reality, these products are just shiny objects because they scour regardless, relentless. They don't have a particular purpose, they just scour. But if you buy a domain to collect the assets, you are virtually taking a gamble. You're hoping that there are actually assets going to be in there that are valuable to you, that match your business. You might be lucky, you might not. There's always a risk to doing this, buying assets in this way, buying domain names in this way. There are ways that you can check though. You can check a site before you actually buy it, and we'll look at those a little bit later. So, you've bought a domain and there are some videos in there that someone has actually created. There are some blog posts that somebody's written and a few affiliate links, and some links going to outside articles and websites as well. It's these links to the content that are on that site that you will be interested in. These are the backlinks that you are going to hope will bring traffic to your site. We'll consider the videos and the blog posts first. Right, you've bought a domain name which includes the links to those videos and the blog posts. That's fair enough. But you need to know if they are genuine links. Links from real people. Google and other search engines are very good at understanding if the links go to a genuine website or if they are created by bots. Many links are from bots, and your own site can be penalized if you connect to them. So, you've bought the links that come into the content of your new site, but you haven't bought the actual content. That still belongs to the creator. It's copyright and always will be until he or she sells it. There may be photographs taken by the previous owner that's still on that site, but you cannot use these photographs to make money without that person's consent. They're still his or her photographs. The creator may or may not be the previous owner of the site. So, talking about links. There are links and there are links. Google loves organic links. Now they are links which have been created by humans and go to sites offering genuine, helpful content that will answer the searcher's query that's been typed into Google. Then there are bot-created links. Bots are computer programs that crawl the web to carry out simple tasks at great speed. They make contact with all sorts of content, bing, 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 fast as it can do, which may or may not be related to your niche, but Google cares about these things. Google cares whether it's related to your niche or not. Now, talking about niches, you're also going to need to understand the niche that the domain you have just bought operates in. And when I say understand the niche, I mean understand it sufficiently to know if the content that is on that site is up to date and accurate enough to answer the questions that search engines are trying to answer. If they don't answer the questions, then that new site will be of no use to you. Once you've checked out all the links and you're happy with this content, then you need to redirect those links to your own site. And that would be with something called a 301 redirect. But this is too big a subject to go into explaining how that works in this video. So how are you going to check a site before you actually buy it? Well, there are free ways to do this, and there are paid ways to do this. Obviously, the paid versions are going to have much more facilities and functions than the free one. But the free versions can be a good starting point for somebody that's just starting out. To check backlinks, you can just type your search into Google and you will get free backlink search providers. Try a couple of them out, see what it is. Just type free backlink search providers and pick out which ones you think are the best. And the same goes for checking domain and page authority sites that have been blocked by Google. There are sites where you can look and see what a particular site that you're looking for looked like on a certain day. And if you look at these comparison sites, that will tell you if that site has changed its niche at any time. Sometimes niches can change naturally as trends and technology changes, but don't forget that the niche of the domain that you buy must match the niche of your own site if you are to benefit from it. Simply do a Google search for domain history, blacklisted domains, domain authority and page authority, backlink profile checker. You can also check the speed of the loading speed of a page, as page speed is important for SEO. You will get a selection to choose from for all of these searches. Buying expired domains can be a lucrative business. It can also be a costly business if you don't get it right. If you're just starting out, you may be tempted to go with one of the programs that are put out by the shiny object vendors, but these will present you with a list of potential domains that you will be tempted to buy. But don't forget, if you buy 2 or 3 a day and then 2 or 3 tomorrow, these will all come up for renewal again next year. Usually the renewal price is going to be higher than the original purchase price because that will have been sold as a first time buying offer. I know, but that's how it works. Let me just reiterate. Buying domain names can be exciting because of the unknown, the gambling attitude. They can be lucrative, they can be expensive, or there can be a waste of time. They will give you a lot of work. If you want to flip the domain and sell it on, then there is going to be a lot of work to do. You've got to update all the pages and make them all attractive to a buyer, and then you've got to go out and find a buyer. If you buy them for the assets, you will need to understand the quality of the assets and if they will actually help improve your own website. If these links are broken, you will need to know how to fix them. If they're toxic links, then you'll need to know how to fix that also. You need to understand who owns the copyright of the content that you may be using. I'm not trying to put you off buying domain names at all. I'm just trying to get you to understand what is involved. If you want to give it a try, then I would suggest looking for a name that you can flip. A name that you may be able to sell to a local business. Clean up the site. Make sure that there are legal pages and templates and a sound structure to your site. Then you can go and find a buyer with a site that looks attractive. When you've sold that one, you can move on and do another one. But please avoid trying to buy lots of domains with the hope that they will come with lots of content that's going to add Google juice to your own site. If you buy domains and you want to know how to structure it, then click the link just below this video. It will lead you to some fantastic training that will show you how to properly structure a website. In fact, you can build a website along with the training as Philip shows you how to do this step by step. This is the only training that we recommend here at Digital Wise Buys, and it's the training that I personally follow. Check it out now. It's free. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications when we release new video. This is Ed Anguish saying thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.